My name is Joseph Barney from Classic Vacations. I'm the strategic account manager for Los Angeles, the Bay Area, and Hawaii. And this is another installment of our SoCal Spotlight, where we get to interview some of our favorite partners here and get to know them a little bit better, learn about their properties, but also a little bit about them as individuals as well. I'm joined by my colleague Colter, and he is also going to tell us a little bit more about our special guest, Lorrianne.
Thanks, Joseph. Good to see you guys today. Always fun to have a little Zoom hang. So today we're going to be talking about Cabo. First, I should just say hello. My name's Colter again, strategic account manager for Classic based in Orange County. So today we're going to be talking about Cabo. We are joined by Lorrianne, who's the director of leisure sales at Viceroy Los Cabos. I'd like to just read just a little bit from her bio, and then I will have her tell us more about herself. So Viceroy Los Cabos is thrilled to announce the appointment of highly respected sales leader Lorrianne Mesina as Director of Leisure Sales. She joins Viceroy Los Cabos with an impressive travel and sales background, most recently serving as Regional Sales Director for Regional Director of Sales and Business Development for Inspirato, a Coastline Travel Advisors affiliate. She also held prominent leadership roles for several luxury hotel brands throughout the US and Latin America, including Auberge Resorts in Nicaragua, Mandarin Oriental Las Vegas, and various Ritz-Carlton properties in Colorado, California, and Nevada. Very impressive background. Lorrianne is actually joining us from location today, so thank you for that. So let's meet her and talk about Viceroy Los Cabos.
Fantastic. Thank you, Colter. Thank you, Joseph. I'm excited to join you all. Yes, I actually landed here in Cabo 2 days ago, and can I tell you, it's a slice of heaven. I just am so excited to share this with everyone because, again, it is one of the few places that people are traveling to. And I can tell you that from just the guests that I've spoken to since I've arrived, we are doing it right. It is a beautiful property. The rooms and suites are spectacular, but we're also making sure to take very great care of everyone during this time.
Yeah, totally. We've heard great things about Mexico, Cabo in particular. You know, it's just a short 2-hour flight from most airports here, especially in Southern California. So I imagine a lot of the traffic you're seeing is from California and probably also to a certain extent Texas and maybe Arizona as well.
Correct. And a lot more people are feeling more and more comfortable with the destination. Again, they're doing it right here in Cabo, not just as a hotel, as you know, I'd love to take all the credit, but the Los Cabos Tourism Board is making sure that everyone is paying attention to the protocols from the time you land at the airport to every single hotel. And incidentally, in support of the distancing, our tourism board or our local government has mandated that the hotel can be no more than 50% occupied. So again, our guests' comfort and safety is our highest mission, but at the same time, they're able to enjoy the beauty and it's just stunning, the stunning architecture here at Viceroy.
So 50%, how many rooms does Viceroy have? And then how many guests would that equate to? Because that's actually up from a few weeks or months ago, I guess, when I remember it being like 30. So things have improved, I guess.
Oh, correct. So the hotel has just under 200 rooms, suites, casitas, and villas. We recently got some of our inventory back. Unfortunately, literally the week that I started, we were hit here in Cabo by Hurricane Genevieve, and we had to take a few of our beautiful accommodations out of inventory, but we've since gotten most of them back. And what the state or what the entire area is doing correctly is that everyone is reinforcing in the most gentle manner, for their guests and visitors to wear the masks, to maintain the distancing. We have shields that are appropriate. One of the things that's amazing about the hotel, though, is the way it was designed was already set with the outdoors in mind. So you appreciate everything outdoors. So the restaurants are already open air. Even the lobby is open air. So really it was the distancing and the shielding and the masks that needed to be utilized. But again, the entire Cabo Peninsula has been so great with reinforcing these measures, and in a way, again, that makes our visitors feel comfortable. So, you know, you might have some people who are not very happy about wearing a mask. I get it. It's not the most comfortable thing. I'm breaking out here because of it. But at the same time, you know, we're doing it right here in Cabo. So that is why it went from 30% to 40%. And literally just recently, within the last week, it went to 50%.
Nice.
That's wonderful. And I think Colter and I both, especially being in Southern California, have been hearing a lot of great feedback from, you know, partners and clients who have been going to Cabo and other parts of Mexico. It's been unanimously positive feedback of, you know, people just having wonderful experiences there and saying that they felt very safe. And just like you said, I think Cabo specifically as a destination has that kind of sense of space to it. You know, in Viceroy is a perfect example of that. Everything is kind of open air and spread out. There's, you know, Cabo just has a great sense of space to it already. So I think the infrastructure there was already pretty well designed for this type of social distancing, and it's a really nice, beautiful place to have to social distance.
Not bad. I'm not gonna lie. It is pretty gorgeous. It is pretty gorgeous.
And especially people who, I love architecture and design, and Viceroy is so spectacular. I haven't been able to see it in person, but I've, you know, done all my research online and seen it in magazines, and it's just an absolutely visually stunning resort. So I've always been very intrigued by your property in particular for that reason.
Oh, it is gorgeous. So our architect is actually also, he is an artist's heart and soul. His name is Miguel Angel Aragones, and how his design really is the marriage of sea and sky. You saw the water mirrors that, you know, is really, it's the hallmark of our property. The water mirrors reflect the sky, and it is, again, it looks like it's floating on the ocean and a part of nature. So he married his home country and the things that he loves about nature with a design. One of the things too that's very interesting, it is very sleek, very modern as far as the design is concerned, but it's only part of what the hotel is, because, and we were just talking about this, ironically enough, the heart and soul of the property are the team members. We have many people here for marketing and PR, and each one who's departed has had a great experience with an individual or individuals from our team, and, you know, they've shared the individuals' names. So it really is indicative of a property that it's not just a building, it's not just a room, it's the team that makes the experience, that gives the experience to the guests. And again, we're hearing that feedback. So again, that's the heart and soul of the property, but it is beautiful.
Yeah. I mean, you combine the people aspect with the beauty aspect, and just being in Cabo, which is akin to, you know, like San Diego, or maybe in your case, probably Newport Beach in Mexico. It's just a fabulous place to go. And just get away, whether it's for a weekend or for a small event right now. Forgive me for, you know, sort of stumbling through your bio here a minute ago. But I just wanted to say, you know, from sort of the notes that you gave me to prepare for the call, it looks like this property is really investing a lot into sales leaders like you. And so can you just tell, you know, Joseph and I, along with the people who are going to listen to this recording, you know, when Viceroy opened, sort of what the aspirations are? I mean, you guys are investing heavily into your team and the property. So just give us some context on all of that, if you will.
Sure. I mean, the hotel is, well, let's start from the beginning. The hotel opened as another property and had a different name, and Viceroy assumed management of it about 2 years ago. And at that time, things were changing. A lot of things were changing in the economy, in the local landscape here. So many new hotels were being added. So, the team had to change with it. When the turnover came for this past year, earlier this year, or actually late last year, ownership really wanted to go in a different direction. And that being said, they really wanted to bring in people who are going to align with the vision of creating a destination within a destination. Again, you have beautiful hotels all over Cabo. I'm a former travel advisor, so I could tell you every single hotel here has its amazing benefits. However, again, ownership wanted to find a way to make this particular property stand out. And how do you do that? You do it with people who are inspired, not just have great, experience, because we have a lot of colleagues who have years and years of experience. We want to make sure that we are inspired, we inspire our team, we inspire our guests. So I think that investment really is going to be long-term, because you're going to see the results from it on a daily, weekly, monthly basis. So again, that investment is making sure that we're targeting the right people who will ensure that the guests have that same inspired feeling, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's quite the
And
vision.
actually, that's a good segue into, we were going to ask a little bit about how you ended up in your current position. So, we had all that wonderful information in your bio there. So tell us a little bit how you initially got started in the travel industry, how your career kind of got started in this industry.
I was born into it. My father was a food and beverages executive with hotels, very, very different groups from Sheraton to Hilton. And so I actually grew up in it. And it was something that I had said that I would never do because it's a 24/7 job. As we know, travel does not start and stop at, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. It's 24/7. But I really just fell in love with it once again. I had plans to be an attorney and was not, that just didn't feel, that was going in the right direction. So I took a job at what had just opened, the Ritz-Carlton San Francisco, answering phones, really, going to school, answering phones. And the salesperson in me, because I've sold everything from furniture to newspapers to, you name it, I've sold it. The salesperson in me came out in the hotel industry. And, what started off as something that I would do temporarily graduated into sales. From sales, in San Francisco, moved on to different areas, not just in leisure. I did group sales, catering conference services. So
Everything.
it was a really good question. And, where I found my passion, and, no disrespect to the other hotel sales disciplines, but where I really found my passion was leisure sales.
Mm-hmm.
And this is something, everybody knows that this is something that you have to, it's a personal sale because it's vacation, it's a honeymoon, it's, a birthday celebration, it's a bachelorette party, it's a very personal type of, exactly. So you have to sell it from that standpoint. Like, if I'm bringing a teenager, will your hotel be able to, supply things to keep them entertained? Absolutely. We have a game room. They could be at the beach. There's the pool there. Because I think of, what would my kid like? Right. So again, it's a very personal type of decision, and that's how people are making their decisions these days.
Yeah. And you're so incredibly passionate about it too. And that's what really makes it, you can tell when people love what they do and when they're passionate about what they do. And that's amazing to see.
Oh, thanks for that. But how I got here. So years with Ritz-Carlton, a couple years with Mandarin Oriental. Then I got this amazing offer to move to Park City and represent Stein Eriksen Lodge and its sister property. And then, then I also, as we were talking prior to this call, I got a fantastic offer that I could still live in Park City, but represent a hotel, the first luxury property in Nicaragua, Macul. Unfortunately, again, with politics there, after almost 5 years, the hotel had to close down. Then I got an incredible offer from Inspirato, who was one of my clients at Macul, and was with Inspirato / Coastline for 2 years. It was so amazing looking at the other side of the industry and seeing hotels with different eyes. But again, something called COVID happened. And so I got the opportunity 5 months later to work for Viceroy Los Cabos. And having been the Los Cabos specialist for my team, it was such an easy decision. So this was something that it almost happened organically. There are so many touch points of how I landed here, but that was the straight version, A to B version.
It was meant to be.
Yeah. Can I ask one follow-up question on your first part? Did you ever take the LSAT?
I took the prep.
That was enough to say no.
I took the prep, and that was it. Now
Yeah.
I couldn't go any further with that. My cousins, my family members, close friends, who had to study for the bar. I all of a sudden remembered those those study periods and how stressed they were. So maybe perhaps this wasn't the career that I really wanted. And quite frankly, every day is a different day when you're working for hospitality, and I wouldn't trade that for the world.
Yeah, I bet you have way more fun.
Yeah, now you're on the beach.
I'd like to think so, yeah.
So speaking of having a good time, in your work, tell us about, think for a moment here. You've got, 1 day left in Cabo. I don't know. Maybe that could even be later on this week. You've got 1 day left in Cabo, 1 day left at Viceroy. Paint us the picture of how you're going to spend that day.
Oh my gosh. Can I just say one word? Spa.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm a woman, and I just, spa is amazing, but we have the most incredible spa, and I know everybody says that about their spas. The spa here has a personality. Our spa director, Vanessa Infante, she's a healer, so she's not just somebody who manages the team. She's someone who's invested, and she always reminds me it's just not about the spa. The experience is total wellness. So when you're talking about total wellness, you're talking about, what you're eating, how you're sleeping, not just a massage and a facial, although that's what I'm after right now, is massage and a facial. But again, it's not just you're going for an appointment, you're going for an experience. So in the spa, there's actually a treatment. It's based off of these local flowers called the Damiana flowers. And it actually realigns you so that your sleep patterns are regulated. I don't know about you, but during this time period, I have had trouble having the most relaxing sleep. So this type of treatment is something that I am craving like crazy, because I want to be able to sleep restfully for a long period of time and not wake up every 3 hours. The pools in the spa, they're fantastic. Again, I haven't gotten into them myself yet, so I'm really looking forward to that. I mean, you could spend an entire day there because there are different stations. There's the cold plunge, there's the hot pool, there's the ice. So again, that would really be where I'd spend, I'm not kidding, my last day if I were there.
I'm for it.
And on top of that, again, being the woman that I am, there is a fabulous retail area in the spa. I've already picked out my hats, my dress, my flip-flops. So again, it's not just a place to go for a massage and a facial. It's an entire experience. So yeah, and I'd have to eat too. So that.
That sounds amazing. I am so in.
I need that sleep treatment. That sounds really good.
I am just so shocked that that's a common ailment for a lot of us. And I think it's because we're unsure of what's happening next. There's that thing called an election in a couple weeks that people are very nervous about. And again, I'm not taking sides, during this conversation, but we just want to know what's going to happen.
A lot of uncertainty.
That lack. Oh, Joseph, I'm not even kidding. That lack of sleep has been, it's been a topic every time I'm on a Zoom call or every time I'm talking to everyone.
Mhm.
And, last but not least, for the spa, the reason why I say that is people are craving to have their senses reignited. And what I mean by that is we haven't been able to hug our friends. We haven't been able to smell the food that mom's making. We haven't been able to, really engage all of our senses. So for me, having that sensory experience in the spa, that's really part also of why I would spend it there. But yeah.
Mhm. That's why I brought my eucalyptus leaves today.
Are you gonna flagellate yourself with them?
I give myself my own spa treatment.
No, there you
So
go. Yeah, you can
one
turn
last
on
question
the
for
kettle.
you. Oh,
Yep.
sorry. So what is on, separate from, the beautiful destination that you get to go to for work and that you get to sell, what is on your bucket list right now of, when you can take your next trip with your family or your friends? What are some of the top places that you still want to go to?
So top number one place, just selfishly, I want to go back home to Hawaii. Most of my family has actually moved from the islands to the mainland. My parents live in Las Vegas, but going back home to Hawaii to see my sisters and my nieces and my nephew and my cousins, that would really make me happy. And it's also because my parents really miss everyone too. It's just, again, having that opportunity. But bucket list, you did say that. Bucket list is Palawan in the Philippines, Palawan
Oh, yeah.
Islands in the Philippines. My mother is Filipina, and we have gone back and forth. I had to do little thing for pageants in the Philippines too, so my heart is there. But just the amazing crystal blue waters, these islands that are not populated, and you can rent an entire island, and you have all of the services of a luxury property, but in a private environment. And again, it's that whole thing about social distancing, and my parents are elderly, and I just don't want anybody getting sick, but that would be a slice of heaven. It
Yeah.
would be absolute slice of heaven. So yeah, I know everybody's like, well, why not Paris or Machu Picchu? I'm like, no, I want to go to an island.
Oh no, I know I have quite a few friends who have been there, and it looks absolutely spectacular.
Oh my gosh. And again, I mentioned it, I miss my mother's cooking so much that I would make sure that the chef there was Filipino too, and they would make sure that all the fantastic Filipino dishes would be nonstop day and night. So that's that's another reason why I'm choosing the Philippines.
Yeah,
But
that
no,
sounds good.
that's, again,
That sounds perfect.
how I thought about it a lot.
Yeah. My gosh. Um, this has been lovely getting to know you today and just meeting you and hearing about the property. Is there some things that you want folks who might be tuning into this to know about Cabo, to know about navigating their way to Cabo, to just know about your property?
No, absolutely. So again, at Cabo, we're very fortunate that we've been so great with adhering to all of the practices that we're one of the few destinations that people can travel to, particularly US travelers. So it is something that, is on everybody's short-term list for the most part when they're ready to travel. Secondly, again, when you're coming into Cabo, you don't have to take the test. However, just know that screening is enforced at the airport. They're even filming for temperature. So, you know, if you, I love this one. If you look like you've been ill, so, you know, God forbid you've lost your pet or broke up with your significant other and we're crying on the plane and your eyes are red rimmed and you're sniffling, they might pull you out of line to make sure that, you know, it's not something that you were ill for. With regard to the hotel, again, it is gorgeous. We are at 50% maximum capacity, but we still have availability for the holidays. And I'm not pitching a commercial here, but it is the time when people have decided that they feel better about traveling. It is after the election. People are going to start thinking about that. So again, this is the opportunity to start looking. If you're not ready to book just yet, start looking at opportunities to really, you know, make that trip, or, you know, even if it's just planning for that trip. Thanksgiving here is going to be very special. You know, even though it isn't in the US, it's the holiday. And you think about it, it's going to be one of the first holidays that we're going to have that the restrictions are a little bit more relaxed. So again, people are going to feel more comfortable coming to the area. And that time of year here in Cabo is gorgeous. The humidity levels are so low. So people like me with my hair feel good about it. The surf is fantastic, you know, and again, I can't say anything much more about how amazing the hotel is. I do have to bring up one thing. Again, it's the whole thing with distancing. We do have clients that are booking or looking at the hotel because they want to maintain that distancing. We have these beautiful standalone casitas and villas. And why that's important is, number one, they could move into the casitas or villas and, you know, either work from home or school from home as their private home, because it is furnished like a private home, the kitchen, parlor, everything. And if they don't feel comfortable, again, to continue with the distancing, they have their own private terrace with their own private pool. I mean, you can't get any more, you know, socially distanced than your own private resort within a resort. And again, for those of our guests who don't feel comfortable talking to, you know, multitudes of people, or leaving their casita or villa, we have private lifestyle assistants or concierge, personal concierge for them. So that really is something that really I did not think about initially, but got brought to our attention because people still want to continue to maintain their distance, but they want to go somewhere different. They're not, you know, excited about their four walls anymore. They want to see something, you know, that's vastly different from what they have. So those are definitely the things that, you know, I want to mention to people.
Yeah, I mean, it's easy to get down there, right? So like Joseph and I living in Orange County in LA, from San Diego, Orange County, 2-hour roughly flight. You know, I've got friends in Phoenix. That's say 2 and some change. And then up the coast, you know, LA, San Francisco, 2.5. I mean, and that's nice and quick. It seems doable with a mask. You know, if you fly, you know, somebody like Alaska, they're blocking middle seats. I just say that because they seem to have a lot of lift down to Cabo from California right now. So it is fairly easy and it seems doable. And I have seen a lot of my friends post stuff recently on Instagram from Cabo. So it seems like the word's getting out.
It is. And again, if you're going to look at the posts, all of the posts are outdoors.
Totally.
So it really is demonstrating that, you know what, it is, the air is flowing freely. So some of that concern can be alleviated, but it is the gorgeous time of year to be here. So that's, I mean, I can't even talk to you enough about, you know, the view from here. Again, I wish you could see it, but again, I would look like a shadow if I broadcasted the actual background. And people are, you know, again, craving being outside. So that's another thing. You could, you know, take a bike to town. We're only, you know, 10 minutes from downtown San Jose del Cabo. Incidentally, so this is another thing with regard to things I didn't think about. So we are the closest luxury property to the airport. We're only 20-25 minutes by car. People are concerned about being in enclosed environments too much right now. So having that time of only 20, 25 minutes in a car, you know, it really makes them feel comfortable. And the reason why I keep bringing it up is because that has been the number one concern for anyone who's traveling. Any requests that I get, what are your COVID practices? How are you making sure that, you know, my family and I are going to be safe? So again, that's just something that's been incredible. And then you could walk or bike to town. So that's another great thing. You don't have to get in a car again in order to enjoy downtown San Jose del Cabo. As a matter of fact, tonight is the art walk in town, and Marta and I, my director of sales and marketing, and I are going to be biking down there to experience it. Like, exactly. And we know that people are going to be out there because, again, just craving, you know, something different and being outside. But to be able to transition from the hotel there is just, it's spectacular for me. I just love it.
I'm jealous.
We got to get you down here again. I think somebody just said it's a 2-hour flight.
Yep.
Yes.
No.
As soon as
And last,
my house decorated.
oh, I thought you were going for that Zen look too, Joseph.
Yeah. Well, that's before I got on with before you got on the call with us. I told Colter, I'm like, let me grab a vase or something. I'm like, it looks a little depressing in here.
The house is gorgeous, though.
Thank you.
You see,
Well,
I thought you were Zen look.
yeah, it's very Viceroy,
no,
very sleek, minimalist. But
it is.
Thank you so much for joining us. This was so much fun getting to know you and getting to learn a little bit more about the property. So we really, really appreciate you spending time with us today. And, you know, especially since you could be enjoying all of that beautiful surroundings that are behind you. So thank you for sitting down and spending a little time with us today. It's been a lot of fun.
Oh, thank you. It's just great to see everyone and, you know, meet people and, you know, communicate to the world that travel is coming back. That is the purpose of every post that I see, you know, that people who are traveling carefully, slowly, but surely, the travel industry will come back. Is it going to come back immediately? No, I wish it would. I wish there was a magic tap that we could turn on. But if we do it right, we do it carefully, we do it safely, we make our guests feel welcome, we make our team feel empowered. Yeah, it's going to be back, and it's going to be back in spades. So the business is going to roll in. We just don't know when.
Yeah. Well, in the meantime, I mean, such a pleasure to meet you. I'm excited to be working with you all. I mean, I only got to see the outside, you know, fairly recently, and I've seen tons of photos, and it just looks amazing. I follow the property on Instagram, so definitely anybody, you know, check that out. That's always a fun way to visualize, you know, a future trip. So
Right now.
yeah, thank you for your time today. This has been great.
Thank you, Colter. Thank you, Joseph. We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, y'all.
Bye.
Bye-bye.